Roll back. Roll back, roll back, roll back. What's going on, everybody? Y'all know how we do. Before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and take a question or two. Or three, we'll see how it goes. Can everybody hear me? How my sound coming through? All right, before we get started, let's start with a question, 2 questions, 3 questions, and then part right into it. Today's class, we're going over the tick and the tock, between the tick and the tock, the secret of TikTok. What we got? I can see y'all from here now, so if y'all got a question, y'all go ahead and type it. If not, we just go ahead and get right into it. I'm doing my best. The best one can do. How you doing? Yeah, I just said I'm doing my best. I'm talking about questions, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a question. I'm saying anything y'all want to know before we get started is what I'm saying. I think everybody should start taking honey. You know what I mean? I've been an asthmatic since I was like 7 years old. But recently, because I've been taking a lot of honey to help with my voice, right? I haven't been experiencing much asthma or many asthma complications. I think people should take honey on a regular. Yeah, y'all ain't answering nothing. Okay. So, yeah, I take Merlin. I mean, any honey you have access to. Anti-inflammatory properties. I'm a witness. And we'll get into the science of that honey too later on, if we got time. All right, yeah. We ain't got the students in here, don't seem like, because ain't nobody got no question. How do you handle betrayal? That's a good question. How do you handle betrayal? Well, here's what I can offer. Before the betrayal happens, there's always some type of sign, right? We may not be ready for what the sign is, but the signs are there, okay? You might be thinking if somebody's your homeboy, you've been riding with them for the longest, and every time you ask them, you know what I mean, a question about your appearance, they say something slick, and it comes in the form of a joke. And you take it as a joke, but you don't understand that that's internalized hatred that's starting to leak out from that person. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that every time somebody betrays you that they hate you, because sometimes people betray you for their own selfish reasons, which is primitive nature of self-preservation. It could be that too. Somebody could love you, all right, at least convince themselves they love you in the bottom of their heart, on the top of it, but then they actually move forward to strike you, okay, or betray you. So what I will offer is you pay attention to what you call red signs in the beginning so that you don't have to wait for the betrayal to happen. You know what I mean? And be cautious about human beings' drive to benefit. All right? Human beings have this thing about themselves where they want to find some type of benefit in all things. So people stay in relationships of any kind, friendships, all right, intimate relationships, business, corporation relationships, or corporate relationships. They stay in it because they feel like there's some type of benefit. And so long as they feel like that benefit has more value than the deficit, they'll be like, okay, well, let me just stick around. But they wouldn't see the haymaker coming, taking all these jabs, thinking that just because of the little benefit that they can see, they need to stay. And that's with all kinds of relationships. You know what I mean? Look at the melanin dominant people in America and their relationship with politics. You know, it clearly does not work for them. Yet they still say, well, there must be some type of, you know what their benefit is? Not having to be competent. Their benefit is not having to function on their own. They can continue to rely on any type of system. It could be their mayor. It could be the president. It could be the Democratic Party, Republican Party. They see that it does not work for them collectively, but yet they feel, okay, well, because I don't have to pay my own bills, because I don't have to file my own taxes, because I don't have to make sure my own land is taken care of, because I don't have to run water through my own communities, because I don't have to power my own communities, I can continue to rely on that system, right? And that system will continue to what? Lie to me again and again and again. That's what rely means, by the way. Say, I relied on you. I relied to you. They lie to you over and over and over again, but people stay for benefit. So I will offer about betrayal, all right, that you notice them red signs in the beginning and that you don't overstay your welcome in any situation, in any relationship, because when you do, you're only doing it because of some type of benefit. And a lot of times that benefit is the comfort of knowing I don't have to shift my surroundings right now. I don't have to change what I'm doing right now. Okay, then somebody comes around, they betray you. People can't go through that back door, all right, it is locked. You hear me? One more time. They can't go through that back door if it's locked. You leave the back door open. They backdoored me. You left it open. You understand that this is my homeboy. This is not a trust nobody. This is science I'll be teaching you eventually. Okay? You don't trust anybody. Let me tell you what the science is. You trust all things. Don't trust anybody. Everything you do, you put it in trust. Okay? But you don't put your trust in anybody. We'll get to that one day. All right? When that time is right. Okay? And speaking of that time, in between the tick and the tock. That's where we are right now. You think you're looking at me, but you're looking at an image that's in between the tick and the tock. Where is this image that's on the screen right now? Who could tell me? I'm not talking about my location. I'm not talking about where particularly am I on earth. Where is that image that you're looking at right now? Where is it? Where does it exist? Some people say on the web. Some people say on this app. But where is that? Give me the location. Where are the coordinates? Who could tell me where this image is? Where is it beaming from? Which towers is it bouncing off of? What is the source of these pixels right now? You understand? That's in between the tick and the tock. Live streaming is this within between the tick and the tock. You think you're looking at an image, but you're looking at something that's literally breaking the rules of space and time. Okay? All these electronic signals are coming from me as sound waves, but they're coming to you as electronic signals converted into sound waves. All right? Are also in between that tick and the tock. But why I keep saying that? Because when you say tick and tock, tick tock, most people think about what? Time. All right? And they may not take into account that time and space are a continuum, meaning that time and space are one and the same. If I take my hand like this and I go from here to here, it took both time and space for me to complete that motion. You understand that? So if it takes time and space to complete this motion, that just made a change. There was an alteration that took place. You want to know what that's called? The relationship between space and time is called an interdependent relationship. So if something changes in time, something changes in space. You understand that? And if something changes in space, something changes in time. You with me? So when people start speaking about, oh, there's a 3D, 4D, 5D, all right, where they really get stuck at is the fourth dimensional subject, okay, which is subjective. And they speaking about time. It's not objective. According to what people like Einstein brought forth, when you have your Tor science, right, which is just theory of relativity, Tor. And I give you Tor so you can remember torus, all right? And torus is saying something that is wrapped around a center as a rope, all right? You know about the toroidal fields and things like that. And if you've been walking with me, X marks the spot, I broke all of that down. Nothing versus everything, I broke all of that down, all right? So you have the theory of relativity brought forth by people like Einstein. And I say by people like him because he's not the only one who spoke that type of science, right? You had other people who were coming forth and bringing sciences that were breaking the grounds on what people thought time and space were. Remember, it's a continuum, meaning they're one and the same. Just like thought and matter. They're one and the same, okay? The same way you're looking at this image, you swear up and down if somebody would have asked you, I'm looking at phase one right now. I'm looking at phase one, whatever the little squiggly purple thing is, of the blue background. I see his whole aura. I see the whole picture, but you're actually not seeing phase one. And I could do this a million times. I could have a camera that's pointing to this camera, that's pointing to another camera. Some of y'all see me get on here and do. We'll go live, and I'll be playing a live inside of a live that's inside of a live. You with me? But which one of those images is the real image? And that's when you get into people like Niels Bohr, who were working on quantum physics, all right, or quantum mechanics specifically. When you're dealing with mechanics, you're saying, how do these things work? And quantum is just saying, you could say amount, but let me tell you what they're really saying. They're saying spiritual. When they say quantum mechanics, they're saying, how does the spiritual world work? When they're saying quantum physics, that's what you metaphysicists are trying to get to. All right, quantum physics. How do these things work beyond what we can acknowledge and what we can see? And let me tell you something. Those who study quantum mechanics and quantum physics, they all agree on the same thing. Everything that they're saying is real is made up of things that they can't really say for sure is real. So even reality for them is composed of what they would say is not reality. You understand their dilemma? Because they're trying to figure out, just like Einstein was saying, the mind of God. You understand? So when we're dealing with time and space, we're dealing with people and their consciousness. Because not all of us are experiencing time and space the same way. You understand? We all have our relationship, there goes that word, relativity, relationship with time. And without that relationship with time, how will we what? Account for it. To say this is happening this time, and this happened this time, this happened that time. That's why people believe in something called a timeline. All right? Now, this is where you get into the conversation of whether or not time is an illusion. Because a lot of people, especially in the conscious community, spiritual communities, believe that time is an illusion. Why? Because they're taking a statement that Einstein made about the distinguishing between past, present, and future. And they're conflating it to mean that he was saying the whole thing was an illusion. No, he never said that. Now, you could still argue that the illusion would be dealing with something saying light is reflecting off of a thing and causing you to think something is happening that isn't happening, or an optical illusion, as you might call it. You could argue that. But you do need to look into the inner workings of time. What are the inner workings of time? Let me tell you what the inner workings of time are. Most people, when they think of a time, they'll think of a clock. Right? Say, how do you calculate time? They'll think of a clock. It'll pop up in their mind. So if I give you a clock, like what's right here on this wall, if you can see it back there, right? That's a circular thing, a tool that's used to chart cycles, right? A circle that charts cycles. And on this clock, you have your 12 numbers, okay? Or your 3/4, right? Meaning your 3/4, your 12 to 3 to 6 to 9. You understand? Or your 4 times 3, if you understand what I'm explaining to you. Your 12. You have your 12 here that says time will work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it'll do it again to give us a whole day. And people said, okay, that's time. Now, before they had this particular thing that you're looking at that you can rely on and say, this is what time is, changing your mind every day. You got to watch that movie Dark City to understand what I'm going with this. Because every time that clock struck that 12, what happened? They reset people's reality. You with me? Before that machine was brought forth to you, you had what was called the mechanism of the clock. All right, which became your mechanical clocks. Inside of that clock was a pendulum. And that pendulum swing from left to right, which would be leftmost to rightmost. And every time there was a leftmost swing or rightmost swing, how much time was that they would say would pass? 1 second, which didn't make sense because it would have been the first. All right. But of course, they said it was the second. So leftmost swing, rightmost swing gave them 1 second on the clock. OK, you have an inner working of yourself that keeps time. You want to know what that's called? It's called your heart, which would be the machine, and your heartbeat. All right. And every time your heart beats, doo-doo, 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 it's giving you a clear representation of what time is. Do you know that your heart beats once per second on average? The average human adult being, all right, after you get of age, and this is going to be taken into account also because the children have a quicker heartbeat. You might observe the newborn, they come in, their heart beating like this. You understand? The average adult's heart beats 1 time per second. You understand that? And it's keeping track of what's happening in your life. Your recorder. That's why they give you the science of way into the heart ceremony. When it's time for you to leave, what do you have to do? You put your heart on that scale. And they look through all of the different things that were recorded. Every time your heart beats, something is being recorded, including space and including time, and the space that you're occupying and the time that you're occupying and the things that you are doing in that space and in that time, and so on and so on and so forth. All right. So this is what is referred to as your inner core, your heart. Okay. When you take and look at what happens when the pendulum swings. Okay. Let's say you have a point here. All right. Or the fulcrum point for that pendulum. Okay. It will swing left, right. And when it does, what is it going to create? It's going to create the shape of an anchor. You can draw it for yourself. Okay. It'll create the shape of an anchor. Even when you say the word anchor, you're saying encore, meaning again, which is the repetition. All right. And you're saying inner core. And your inner core is your heart. And it keeps track, okay, of all of the things you're doing and how you're experiencing it. Why am I bringing that up again? Because let's say you and I go out and we race each other. All right? Let's say we were racing all day. If we race all day, we'll look at the clock and say, yo, what happened to the time? Why? Because when we're running, our heart rate is increasing. You know what I'm saying? When we're speeding up, our heart rate is increasing. Okay? This is why I tell you there's going to be a great day for some people. There'll be a dreadful day for certain people. Why do you think they need to keep pushing about this disease, that, and this is going to be, this ease is just saying what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be dreadful. Why do they need to push that? And why did they need to push that for the pivotal moment of 2020? Okay? Because while people were dreading, time was dragging along. And all of those people who were not dragging along with those dreadful ones, we acknowledge that time sped up. Okay? Now, we were the ones who were coming out telling people, yo, time is speeding up. And the dreadful ones were saying, no, ain't nothing different. We just getting older, so that might be the reason why why I'm experiencing it. Then why you're not experiencing it? Because you're under a dreadful frequency. And why people exist under that dreadful frequency is the same thing. If you experience anxiety or depression of any kind, all right, or if you're doing something, you listen how my voice and the tone of my voice is shifting as I'm explaining this to you or bringing up this example. It just feels like you don't really want to be there. You don't really want to be doing this, and time just drags along. But when you're excited and you got all the time and the energy and the love and like everybody's there, the next thing you know, everybody got to go. You understand? And that's how, even in the melanin dominant community, y'all know, when the melanin dominant women say it's time to go, you know, we'll really be leaving in the next 3 hours. You know what I mean? It ain't going to happen right then. Because the mother will be standing there in the kitchen saying, all right, it's time to go. She pick her bags up. You think it's time to go. Then she's standing there in the porch. It's time to go. A whole nother hour for that porch. Then you got to deal with the fact that they're getting in the car. They're halfway out the car. You understand? But they're having a good time. So time is speeding. You don't seem to get from light to dark. All right, y'all are enjoying yourselves. That's why they say time flies when you're having fun. All of this is documented in the heart. You understand that? And this is your tick and the tock of your center. And between the ticks of the tock is what we're looking to figure out about. So why do we figure out about it? We will figure out about the fact that when the heart beats, it goes in and out. Which means what, Faise? It dilates and contracts. You understand? Dilation, contract. It pushes and pulls. When that dilation occurs, what happens? Blood rushes into it. All right? When that contraction occurs, what happens? Blood rushes out of it. Okay? That's your diastole and your, what is it? The systole. What do you call it? Help me out. The diastolic and systolic. All right? Or your diastole and your systole. Thank you. All right? And that's literally when the diastole occurs, it's a relaxation that takes place in the heart. All right, and when the systole occurs, it's like a contraction that pushes, all right, out the blood. You understand? So that's your tick and your tock of your heart. But in between there would literally be what? The blood. You understand? It's the same thing that moves through all of us that's allowing us to live. Dr. Malachi taught it. Life is in the blood. And without us having that system, we wouldn't be able to experience this. The water of our body actually is, or the fluid of our body actually is the blood. You understand? So there are 3 systems that you familiarize yourself with to be able to understand this science in total. You familiarize yourself with the system of the pyramid. All right. You familiarize yourself with the system of the heart, and you familiarize yourself with the system of what's referred to as the beehive. Okay. Because all of these are the same types of system. All right. Pyramid ain't nothing but just saying literally the fire and the center, the same thing that Jesus and the rest of the masters point to, including myself. All right. Why would we be pointing to that? Because without this, okay, which is why you need to be in tune with it, what's keeping track of your existence here? And without this, where is your tick and your tock? All right? Or where is your heka and your ta? And we'll get into that too, because your heka, which is your tick, all right, is 1 point or one of the bits, all right, which is just binary numbers. Okay, so you have your 1 and your 0, okay? You have your heka and then you have your ta, your 1 and your 0. What would be documenting that if it were not for your heart? Meaning, how would you be conscious enough to even explore about it without that heart being present? You with me? So you have your pyramid, which I broke it down to y'all before and built up for you too, literally, because people were saying Merkaba. Remember that? And I gave them the science Ba-Kamir, which is to say literally becomer. Okay, and Bakam was saying a muteness or a silence. And then you had the mir, which was the light and the silent light. I broke that down with the refraction of sound waves. All right, in the rehab book. Okay, so you have your Merkaba, which becomes your Ba Kamir when you're building it up from the Ba to the Cha to the Mir. All right, the true way from the top to the bottom, meaning the beginning to the end point of how to build a pyramid. All right, that pyramid is synonymous and interchangeable with the beehive. Okay, I put that in the How to Speak Elite book, so you should be able to understand that. Okay, another way or science that we were given that could help you align these three is that the heart that we're given, which is pointing downward, an arrow pointing downward, that was corrected. Okay, it was an arrow pointing upward, meaning the heart that you draw that looks like this. Okay, you would flip it and draw it this way, an arrow pointed upward. And if you were to take a piece of paper and draw that image and then drew a pyramid and then drew a beehive, you would be looking at all of the same types of structures. Okay, what is the life fluid of the heart? That's easy, the blood. What is the life fluid of the honeycomb? All right, or the beehive? That's easy, the honey. All right, what is the life fluid of the pyramid? That would be your result of conductivity, your electricity, or your psi-org energy. You understand that? So we each have one of the pyramids in our possession. It's called a heart. All right, that helps us to dictate what is occurring between the tick and the tock. Does God talk on the tick, or does God talk on the tock? And the answer will be neither. They say God talks to your heart or into your heart. How? What type of message? People say, yo, this is coming straight from the heart. How? Okay, so who would be the one that speaks to the heart? And that is the answer. Who would be the one that speaks to the heart? H-U. Because between the tick and the tock, you have that being or that essence called who. All right? So what is who? That creative force that eludes all of us that I talked to you about, that eternal pursuit. If you're not on your way up there to figure out that, okay, then you're missing that science. Who? H-U. And it became W-H-O. When people knock on the door, they say, who is it? You say, it is who. Because all of us would have had to be connected to that correctly. You understand what correct? So now, when I say a pyramid is pointed upward, a heart facing upward, okay, the honeycomb got the point upward. All of it pointed to what's referred to as the divine eye or the eye of providence. You understand? All of these are saying, meet us up there. Meet us on top of the mountain. Go upward in that direction. Okay? You have a pyramid that's your eyes also. Your first, your second, and your third eye. Some people like to call that third eye the first eye. All right? Which one it will be on top when people draw it? They draw it as the third eye, correct? That's the one that has to activate so that you can, what? Escape or get out of the material plane and literally overstand what's happening beyond this plane. So when people get to that tick and that tock science and they find out that tick gives you the beginning and the word tock literally is the opener, ta, and you have who in the center, that's the energy force that you would need to be able to tap into to activate that what? Capstone or your third eye or that first eye. This is when you get into astral projection. This is when you get into your sleep incubation. You're opening up to be able to receive messages from the masters. This is when you get into your lucid dreaming. All right. Your brain has to be able to function at such a capacity for these things to happen. It's all about your preciousness. All right. As some people call consciousness. Remember I told you or showed you that when you say precious instead of conscious, you get precious. All right. And isn't it a precious thing what we're enduring or what we're going through? All of us that are going through it. All right, so now we have it, that there is a tick and a tock. I showed you the pendulum. I showed you the anchor, which is your foundation, your encore. Let's do it again, over and over again, a repetition. I showed you the inner core, which is your heart. All right, which some people have even found to be as the anagram for earth. All right, when you're looking at the Schumann resonance, what you're really saying is just the human resonance that's mixed with Schu, okay, or just the air and the breath. All right, so let's get back to it. You have the life force moving through the heart, the blood. You have the life force moving through the pyramid, electricity. You have the life force moving through the honeycomb, which is your nectar or your honey. All right. Remember I told y'all you got the meadow nectar. People didn't catch it this whole time. It's been out there. People saying meadow nectar, meadow nectar, meadow. There's always some man teaching it, ain't it? That's why I said eventually the sisters will have to speak up. Okay, because the true meadow nectar, men do not have it in their nature to understand it. We have to learn it in order to understand it. We don't come here with it as our first nature. Why? Because we are more verbal beings than nonverbal beings. A sister get on here, she can say 3 words, enlighten your whole life. I got to do all of this. I got to say word, 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 word. You say, oh yeah, he is a great orator. All right, but a sister steps in and says 3 words and it'll change the whole system around. That's what we need. Why? Because those 3 words each operate as a picture. Why would I say that? Because a picture is 1,000 words, and I'm saying 3,000 words in a whole bill, and she comes in and says 3 words, but it paints a picture. Why? Because she's in tune with the realm. All right? Her ability to recreate, her ability to produce art, which is why they tried to subdue the women, all right, reigns supreme over the man's ability. Okay? And that is the water of this reality. The women are the water of this reality, which means that if this system were to be set up as a honeycomb, all right, where you have, or a beehive, if this system were to be set up as a beehive, the women would be what? The nectar, all right? And not just the nectar, the women will also be the ones who reign supreme. Because even when you're saying supreme, you're just saying super me, all right? And as a man, I can tell you, the women are super me. They're beyond me, okay? You can't tell me why men have nipples if we don't have functioning mammary glands. You can't tell me why they're there and we're not even able to nurture. You can't explain to me why we're supposed to be the dominant beings on the planet, yet we broke off of an XX chromosome in order to be here. And we started off as women, okay, and then evolved into men, which would really be devolution or de-evolution, okay, which is why your goal is to get back into grace. Your goal is to get back into being able to feel how the woman feels, right? Your goal is to be able to get back into listening how the woman can listen, all right? And, of course, if some people are going to argue and they argue, that's why they're afraid. I'll tell you, it's not that Kamala Harris is a Democrat. It's not that Kamala Harris is this and that and the third. Look, just watch the men that are bashing her. Those are the ones who are afraid of women being in power. It don't have nothing to do. What is it? Fear? Fear don't mean you walk out, you see somebody, you hit your face. Fear means you think that the reality that you're used to is going to be challenged in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And comfort is the reason where a lot of people find themselves being fearful. Okay, that's the reason for why. They think that Kamala comes in, it changes everything they know. So they're bashing her and attacking her, thinking that it's just her. All right, and I'm talking about all of them, like literally bonding together, starting groups and podcasts and coming out post after post after post after post after post. That ain't no issue that they have with Kamala Harris. That's an issue that they have with women being in power. Why? Well, it's the same reason why people thought it to be that the Caucasoids would fear melanin dominant people, or Negroids as you call them, being in power. Because they feel that the Negroids are going to do them the same way their Caucasoid ancestors did. They don't know that that's not our nature. All right? It's not something that we would do. Okay? I'm not saying you don't have aggressive beings who are melanin dominant. I'm saying that when we get in power, if that were to happen, it wouldn't be to subdue or destroy anybody. It would be to be able to do exactly what all of the masters have been saying, all the teachers and leaders have been saying, do for self and kind and leave us alone. We don't want to be bothered with you, and us doing for each other and for ourselves and living amongst each other and binding with each other. That doesn't mean that we're going to one day come out and attack you. We're not going to go set out or set sail, which is just another word that means veil, and hide the truth as pirates. Okay, it was piracy, you steal something. We're not coming to steal what you have, all right, and destroy your world. No, we would just like to build ours, okay? And our world doesn't have to be on a whole nother continent. Our world is just leave us alone and let us do what we do. Stop trying to dictate what's our culture. Stop trying to dictate what's proper for us. Stop trying to dictate who we are. Stop trying to dictate where we go, what we teach, what we eat. Stop trying to dictate that. Take your hands off it. Then you'll realize you never really had a problem to begin with. The problem was with you. You understand? This whole analogy still applies to men and women. You know, stop trying to dictate what they do. Stop trying to subdue them. Stop trying to control them, what they eat, what they think, what they wear. Stop trying to do that. All right? Set an example or rise an example. If your example is strong enough, they'll follow suit. Simple. And if it's not strong enough, that is not a them problem. That's a you problem. One thing I can tell you about nature, okay? Some people may not have learned this in school. Nature selects. It's a certain thing called natural selection. And when you're saying the word nature, is right there, the next door neighbors to the word nectar, nedger, which also gives you the word nectar. Okay? And you steady trying to throw bricks at something. You never thought it takes the pure soul. It takes the sweet and honey soul to be able to get through. All right? You think you're going to be able to just bomb your way through? You think you're going to be able to abuse your way through or brute force your way through? It might work for you for a little while. But after a while, the same ones you subdued and all that, they start doing what? They start rising up against you. I told you what the gender wars were about. I told you who had the upper hand in that. I told you who the hidden hand was in that. Okay? So who would have been able to stop the gender wars first? Ideally, men would be like, oh, the women can stop it. Let me tell you as a man, we could have been stopped it. All right? You didn't know whether or not Man Thee Stallion got shot. You didn't know that. You weren't there. Why did you jump in that? Okay? I can tell you why the women jumped in. I'm trying to figure out why you jumped in it. The women jumped in it because they've been dealing with abusive men their whole life. The women jumped in it because when they say somebody abused them, somebody touched them, somebody did this to them, guess what? Some man tells them she lying. You understand? Or some man asks her, what did she do? Some man asks her what she was wearing. They've been dealing with that. So when even the idea of women being abused comes up, guess what? All women will feel it. And you have to be a woman to understand that. Even if they don't agree with the rhetoric, they still feel it. That's the type of being they are. So when men started to jump in and say, oh, they lying and da-da-da-da, you don't know. You were not there. What if Tori comes out and say, you know what? I did do that. And y'all done spent time, not just, it ain't even about marriage no more, is it? Same way it's not going to be about Kamala. That lady get in office, y'all women need to pay attention to these men. It ain't about Kamala. It's about y'all. They're afraid. Same one screaming, oh, matriarch, matriarch, matriarch. They don't know when to stand back and say, let's see what happens. They don't know when to stand back. And it's like, let me tell you something, just so we won't get too far off topic. We're not going to let the women do anything. They're letting us think we can. They're letting us think we have the power to let them do anything. You don't know the power of women. You understand? You think it to be that the brick's stronger than the water. Let me tell you something. The tsunami destroys the city. Never has it ever occurred that the city destroyed the ocean. One more time, somebody missed it. They said, do it again. Okay? You think the brick to be stronger than the water. Let me tell you something. The water, the tsunami, okay, that liquid, H2O, that bond that everybody overlooks even though they need it to survive. That tsunami, powerful enough to destroy a city, will destroy the city. The city will never destroy and has never destroyed the ocean. Anything you think you've built, okay, this goes into the book of Isaiah. Anything we think we built as these dominantly masculine beings, okay, can be washed away by not just the water. Y'all forget that all of this is Mother Nature. That's just one element. You forgot that. I had to remind you. You got the fires and the wildfires going on. You got the earthquakes. It's every element that you got to work. You dealing with this brick thinking that we about to run something. No, nature is telling you, you need more nectar. Nature is telling you, you need more honey. You need to have that honey spirit. You want to know what the word honey is in Latin? It's mel. Mel, like Meli or Melikai. You have Melit and Melis. All right, Meli. And let me tell you what Meliki or Melikai gives you. Meliki gives you honey spirit. You want to know another word or group of words that gives you honey spirit? Nectaru. Y'all been saying nectaru the whole time. Don't even realize you're saying nectaru. All right, or honey or sweet spirit. Okay? You don't hear people saying sweet Jesus? You ain't never heard people say sweet Jesus? They ain't saying what you think they saying. You know, it's a different type of energy that works for this. You think you're going to step out here with your fist raised against those women and it'll be a tsunami. All right? If you are truly in your divine masculine seat, you have nothing to worry about. You with me? Only ones who feel threatened by anything that women do are the ones who are not on their square. You understand that? So there's the science of the nectar. And when people are saying madhu nectar, the word madhu or madhu in Sanskrit literally means nectar. Go look it up. Okay? And when you're saying ma or okay, you're saying water. Go look that up. Okay? Ma, water. And when you're saying du or deo or dao, you're saying God, the water God. Okay? So let's bring it back around. 360 is what it's called. You have your pyramid. You have your heart. All right? And you have your beehive. All of them pointing upward. Now, if the hands on this clock were pointing upward, what time would it be? Who knows? What time would it be? It would be what? Noon. Simple, right? Noon. And when you're speaking about noon or noon, what are you actually speaking about? You're speaking about the primordial or primeval waters where everything comes from. I like primordial because it sounds like the prime order of El. Okay? Where all things came from. So it's still pointing up there. Look at them hands on the clock when it goes up to you. Say, damn, that shit is pointing at none. and you say noon or atun. You have your atun ray. You have your amun ray. You have your anun ray. And each of those are speaking about a point of light. The rising and the setting of the sun is your tick and your tock. And right there in between there gives you that connection or that at noon. You understand how it works? Okay? So it's pointing at nun, saying you have to go back to nun or nunet. Okay? The waters of nunet. Those eternal, some people say chaotic waters. Those deep waters. I say the waters of cause. All right? Because when you say chaos or cause, all right, you're saying waters of chaos. All right? Waters of cause. All right? Some people might say that. Whatever you would say, these waters yielded life. If I'm going to go look for another plan, because this plan ain't working, that's what the scientists say. They hop in a shuttle, which just means to shoot, all right, or to go from one place to the next. They'll go in a shuttle, and they'll say, oh, shoot, and they'll shoot out and say, I need another plan, or I need another planet, because this plan that I planned, I ain't planned it right, all right, and they look for what? Water. They look for nectar. They look for nectar. They look for Najar. They look for God. So what is God? God, as you know, it will be the elements, correct? Okay? And it's only meant for elves. It's only meant for Ella or Eliot, those who reach that level to become alchemists who work with those degrees. All right? You got alchemists all over the world now. They doing all kind of things, atomic bombs, all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The large hydrogen. Those are the people who are the element workers or alchemists in this day and time. Learn how to not just work with elements, but they're working with the things that make up the elements, the particles, the subatomic particles, and all of that. You understand? For people to actually be gods, they will have to go back to none. Okay? Or noon. They will have to stand upright. Because you know that that's upright. All right? That's your true right angle. And that occurs after your 9. Wherever it is, whether you go 9 a.m., okay, and your 9 p.m. when you say your midnight. Okay? You don't get to that 12 straight up without going through that 9, all right, or your 9th hour on that cross, and I've broken that down to y'all and built that up to you before, all right? So what's the point here? You have to go back to the water. We had everything we had, right? We did everything we did, right? Listen, man, we've been talking for hundreds of years. It's been some dynamic teachers been going on, right? You want to know the master teacher of all of us, Dr. Malachi York, he surrounded himself with women, and he explained why he did it. For protection. He said these other people were doing it the wrong way. He had to be able to listen to them. Malachi York is 80 years old. He's been in prison for 22 years. You understand that? That's why I tell you, most people wouldn't have survived with his conditions and his situation for 1 year. All right? They would have been folded. He's been in there 22 years. He's 80 years old. And let me tell you something. He can keep up with me. He can keep up with me at 80 years old. All right? This is why we're saying tick tock. You can hear his voice on one of the recordings. He's saying, yo, this is my lifeline. All right? He's telling people you better pay attention to the time. If he's giving you that word 80 in the 8th year, you better pay attention to the time. If he's speaking about the hourglass in the 8th year, you better pay attention to the time. Same thing I've been telling people from the beginning. So why would I say the secret of TikTok? Okay? Because that TikTok, as you know, it was used to be Musically. Who remember Musically? All them people? I almost said something. All the particular people that used to make them videos. Y'all remember that app? It switched over to TikTok. That's when they got in bed and they did their deals. But it used to be Musically. Now, I'm saying it as a word, Musically. But they didn't write it that way. They wrote it as musical.ly. A musical lie. Stay with me. Because when you look at the emblem or the logo that they chose to use from the eagle eye view, which animal, all right, or reptile would that emblem be? All right, and just to give you the answer, it would have been a snake, who is Nakas or Nakas. I tell you, you take the word snake and you flip it around as an anagram, you get Nakas, all right, or the ones who are the nakes, the ones who live in a nake, who worship that new deity, who was Lilith, nudity. You understand that new deity? You had Nakas, the snake, the one who was supposed to be the deceiver or the liar, which is what a lot of people believe. And when you say a liar, you're talking about a musical instrument. And it was supposed to be that one of these beings who were believed to be Nakas, Lucifer, was and is a very powerful musical being. Okay, like Pan, the one that the music industry worshipped as the GOAT. They keep saying, oh, just the GOAT. You know, I saw Snoop Dogg come out with the chain, and they were like, everybody got on his ass about the Baphomet shit. I ain't say nothing to him. Everybody else did it for me. I was busy. You know, he said, I don't know what y'all talking about. This just the GOAT. This just some, I just made this. Y'all tripping. I don't know what y'all, no, you know exactly what they talking about, Snoop. Okay, you one of the wisest people in that industry. You playing dumb. You know exactly what they talking about, and you know exactly what that emblem is. Okay, so he acting like he don't know what y'all know. Everybody knows what Baphomet, Pan, and the rest of these beings stood for. Okay, and if it wasn't something that was supposed to be taboo in the esoteric walk of life, ask Levi and the rest of the people who actually were there to establish certain parts of this and speak about this, Anton Levy and the rest of the people who use these emblems and symbols, if it was not taboo for those who were esoteric working on God to even be associated with these beings, then Snoop, why do you think you had to explain yourself? I wouldn't explain myself. Somebody come and try to try me about the I'm not explaining shit. You understand? And the reason for me to explain, but you know he had to explain because you're talking about Pan, who is a music god. All right? The same word that they threw around with the spell words that they were throwing. Pandemic, pandemonium, pan this, pan that. And got mad at Trump because he was telling people don't panic. Who got my book, How to Fight COVID with? You understand? So you got all these goats that the music industry stands for. All right? All these other emblems that they riding up under. Okay? And everybody knows in this day and time that the music industry is falling. Everybody knows in this day and time that the same frequencies that they've been pushing for the longest ain't gonna work no more. What does that mean? It means it takes another frequency back to it. If you're aligning with your inner core, encore, your anchor, okay? And you're literally grounding yourself in that right. Time will not miss you and you won't miss time. You'll understand why we're already in the 8th month of 2024, the 8th year. And you'll remember that I said genetic upregulation can't be faked. You got to really be on that path. You understand that? And that's something I can't hold your hand and cause you to do. It's something that you have to be working on. Everybody's working on becoming lighter. That's your thing. If you one of us right now, your whole thing is becoming lighter, whether it's weight, okay, whether it's the mental things that you're dealing with, whatever it is, you're letting off excess weight. Why? Because right there in that key word, you got weight. You understand? Weight. All right? But why are we saying wait? We've been saying wait. Dr. Malachi had a song, Only a Dream. He said, hold back the clock. Wait, it's too heavy here. We need more time to lighten it up or bring the sun rays through. You understand? So around to that TikTok where they had that snake as the musically. And then they introduced another logo, a newer logo, which was supposed to be this D. Well, really it's an 8th note. I don't know why people didn't know that. But it's an 8th note. Okay? That came together to make that symbol or that logo. All right? How many 8th notes does it take to create a whole note? How many people know? How many 8th notes does it take to create a whole note? It takes 8, right? 8 8th notes. I ain't want to take too much long on that. 8 8th notes to create a whole note. 8 of them. And this is what they refer to as a bite dance. Right? Y'all remember I started breaking this stuff down a long time ago, but now that you got the sciences coming out and people are starting to see what I'm saying. Okay, but I'm going to explain it to you further. Okay? Because their thing is bite dance. But why would they be saying bite dance? What is a bite? You understand? How many bits in a bite? I mean, anybody, because if y'all been with me, come on, I've been teaching computer science. Okay? How many bits in a byte? All right? That number 8 keep popping up, don't it? And why would I say bite dance? Because that's what they focus on, a dance. And you just heard that call that came out recently. If you haven't heard it, one of the brothers, Ibrahim, who's the son of Dr. Malachi York, okay, released a recording of Dr. Malachi York speaking, okay? And I told you, every time Malachi speak, he come back around and say the same exact thing. He talking about the children, I was just talking about the children. He talking about the secrecy, I was just talking about the secrecy. That's how this works. I never really needed an update for Dr. Malachi. I know how to listen. You understand? That's another story. But he spoke about how he already got everything he needed. He said all his paperwork is together. Okay, he looking at it, he got his passport. They dealt with the embassy already. He like, what's going on, man? Literally, he's like, what's going on? He was telling people, cut the bullshit. He said the legal team will try to drag their feet. And the word that he used was, let's get a continuance. Let's get a continuance. And really, they're just trying to what? He said, buy time. Just like I told y'all. That's what I told y'all. That it's all about time. Tick, tock. And I'm telling you right there in the word ByteDance, you got abidance. And the word abidance means continuance. That's what they're trying to do. All these people acting like they're helping Pop, they're trying to buy time. All these people acting like they're helping Pop, they're trying to throw them back under the jurisdiction, all right, to slow up things that are actually working. Notice, a lot of people keep saying, oh, the diplomat stuff doesn't work. Oh, the diplomat stuff doesn't work. Oh, he's a siren, doesn't work. That's a lie. It's the same thing that built all of these systems up to begin with. You don't know it enough to trust it, to know what it is. Key word, trust. You don't know it enough to be able to say this is work, which means you're not competent enough to even speak on it. You have to know the ins and outs of it. And to know the ins and outs of it is to know that not only does it work, you wouldn't have a system without that science. You understand? It wouldn't have been set in place. Now, can they get belligerent? Yeah, they gotten belligerent before. Okay? Well, more people need to be focusing on his freedom, the actual being free, than they are thinking that they have the right way to go. And listen to what he's saying. He's telling people how he want to come home. He keep telling people how he want to come home. All right? And everybody been cloaking it and concealing it. He already has his status. Everything that people saying he don't got, they don't know what they're talking about. He wants to come home this particular way, and he's asking what's taking so long. They keep getting continuances. They keep trying to charge more for phone calls and make more money. Money, 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 money. That's what all this is about. I will hear Pop say, literally, in my own ears, I would hear his voice say, when I was trying to send money, he was like, yo, all that's paid for. I got all the paperwork for this. We don't need no more money for that. Oh, that, yeah, I don't need money for that either. He said all the money is there, but they still trying to get people to send them money. He tells what's going on. That's why they don't be one of y'all. Y'all know I can let y'all in on a lot of stuff, but all I'm doing is waiting for that right time. I know a lot of people lying because of what he said. I know a lot of people ain't being true. It don't matter how much you stand in front of people and try to act like you're telling the truth. I know you're not being truthful because Pops ain't finna lie. And he ain't gonna lie on the situation that he's in. Okay, that's why he said, let the truth be out. So instead of all these people trying to push for this delaying of time, all right, for whatever their independent reasons are, they need to put all that bullshit down. He said, cut the bullshit. He shouldn't still be in there. He should have been out years ago. He shouldn't still be in there. So what is this year about? You can't fake it. You can't fake it. It's about time. And we're in that 8 month. And everybody stepping forward. You just heard my dad, if y'all was on here, Bodie, he spoke earlier. All right, calling out to Kamala. Okay, I was just talking to somebody recently. I'm like, yo, did anybody try to get Biden and them to grant clemency? They said they did. The Biden administration denied Dr. Malachi York clemency. Okay? I said, well, damn, did they try to get Trump to do it? They said, well, he might as well have denied it because he never responded. He didn't move on it. Okay, well, damn. But I talked to people like Angela Stanton, and I tried to get that moved. Okay? And Angela Stanton was like, she wasn't doing it because she believed the allegations. So even though my dad is trying to figure out like what happened, I know Angela Stanton was right there, and she could have helped. And I love her. I ain't got nothing against her. But she could have helped because Kodak Black was able to get out. Whoever all these other people was able to get out. And I said, look, this is the one who did to get out. She wouldn't move on it. It wasn't like she couldn't. It wasn't like it was impossible. She didn't tell me it couldn't work. She told me she wouldn't do it. And she's the one who pushed the pen to get a lot of them people out. This is why I say a lot of people could have helped the mass. I'll never forget that. Now, again, I don't hate her. I still support everything she does. It just hurt because this is how deep the allegations have run. That somebody of one of ours is in position, Angela, look at the word, is in position to Stanton, and doesn't do it because she believes that she was not there. She didn't experience none of this. She wasn't there. She didn't look deep enough into the conspiracy. I tried to talk to her about it. None of that happened. You know what I mean? I remember when she was telling me I need to link up with young Pharaoh. I was like, yeah, she don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But she means well, and she does a lot of work in the communities, and they try to shut her down. So I still support everything she does. I just really wish that something would have moved in her heart. You with me? To recognize when God is talking to it. All right? Don't think that every time God talk to people's heart, that means they listen. God talk to people's heart all the time, and people deny what they're being told. God talk to your heart. You can call God your higher self all you want to. It don't matter what you call it. You know you've done something you knew you weren't supposed to do before. It was coming right through your heart. You literally felt the pressure in your chest. Like, damn, I messed up. And you had to write that, literally. You understand? So people are calling out. It don't matter who it is. And listen, let me tell you something. If my dad is coming out and saying he loves Kamala Harris, want to work with her, whatever it is, listen, we all on the same page. We don't care who or what it is. Help this elder out. Okay? He's already done 22 years. You know what I mean? There's people that get all this time. After 20 some odd years, they be let out. He's already done 22 years for something he didn't do. You know what I mean? Everybody came out and exposed the conspiracy. Y'all want to keep acting like y'all don't hear us. Y'all let Captain Cesariak go on 85 South. Hey, look, Carlos Miller, the rest of y'all, DC Young Fly. All right, y'all need to pull the real ones onto that platform so we can tell you what's going on. And don't tell me it's not worth speaking about when people are on there talking about it. Don't tell me it's not worth speaking about when it's the biggest conspiracy that ever happened in the U.S. The biggest conspiracy against one individual person. All right? It's the biggest, and people don't want to speak about it when it comes to the truth. But they'll let all these other people try to drag him. Captain Cesariak was not there. We don't know him. What is Cesariak? We don't know what that is. We just know that this person popped up with the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. So that might be the reason why he wants to slander Pop, because Pop came out with books like 360 questions to ask a Hebrew Israelite. And every time the Nuwapians or the Sabians would step forth and ask questions from that book, when it came down to the debates, them Hebrew Israelites didn't know what to do. They could not respond to any of those questions truthfully because they didn't even know how to address those questions. That's why they mad at Pops. He ain't never come out and say F the Hebrew Israelite, none of that. He just asked questions. Same reason why they upset with me. Why you think they upset with me? It don't matter who it is. People in the nation. No, why is it? They mad at me when I ask questions. Okay, why? Because when you ask a question, it starts to shut down brick by brick whatever illusion somebody was living by. Okay? And the best answer you can give when you don't know how to respond, all right, or when you don't know the answer, you're not comfortable enough to build on it, is I don't know. That's a high science. But these Hebrew Israelites, a lot of them have an ego. Same way with most of these people who want to be scholars. There's an ego there. This is their life. Okay? They look in the mirror, they see this flesh. Okay, there's bacteria compiled. They see the epidermis, they nose, the phenotypical them, and they say, this is who I am. Okay, they put on their garb and their attire, they go out and they scream and they argue and they fight and they battle and they go home and say, I did a good deed. All this while, time has been just wasting away. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. What makes you think I got time to sit and debate when the whole purpose of all of this right now, like I told y'all, is everybody's focus is on Dr. Malachi York being out of prison. Everybody's focus, if you around me or if you with me, and if you ain't focused on it, you gotta go. I'm not talking about just no people in the physical presence. I'm talking about people that's watching, people that say if you're not rocking with Dr. Malachi, no reason for you to be here. No reason for you to be here. Because time is running out. You understand that? Time is running out. Most people don't realize what they're doing. You've been bashing somebody for 22 years. Think about what I'm telling these people. They've been bashing him for 22 years, and you were not there to experience anything. You want to know what I was there to experience? Not only just the Tom Ray and people. I was there to watch the conspiracy unfold. My mother and my father were around for all of this stuff that was popping off. They right there when all the people talking about it. The driver is there. The people is there to handle his papers. The one handling the money. Everybody's there. People getting readings and all stuff from her. And I'm listening this whole time like, yo, they setting this man up. As a child, I knew there was an injustice. You understand? So if we're truly moving at this point in time as a unit, everybody who claim they country, why you think I go off on people like 19 Keys and them? Let's be for real. Okay? All this teaching and stuff, I could do this all year. I can get on here and talk about whatever we want to talk about. Do you think that's what I do this stuff for? Okay? I do whatever I can to get people attention. I don't give a damn about none of the debating. You know what I mean? I could have went to college and all that stupid shit. Whatever. Dr. Malachi York, that's why I'm here. If we say we're going to help him out, that's what we're focused on. Help him out. He said, where are my helpers? I go off on people like 19 Keys because they should have told y'all the truth. I don't give a damn if that nigga blocked me. You understand? He should have told you the truth. All y'all stood up for 19 Keys, shame on you. Okay? You stood up for 19 Keys and stand up for Dr. Malachi York. You stood up for 19 Keys, not because I dissed him. I ain't called him no this, no that. I ain't say he did this, did that. I didn't agree with it. I ain't act like he didn't exist. No, I acknowledged him and said, we got one of our brothers who are in there, all right, in the belly of the beast. Let's help him out. I kept saying it. I kept saying, what's up? What's happening? Y'all don't know me if you just came around and see me mention the 19 Key thing. I just started saying it yesterday. I've been mentioning everybody, asking all these people y'all coming here naming, when are y'all going to let the world know what's truly going on with Dr. Malachi York? You're going to tell me y'all are the scholars. You're going to tell me y'all are the ones who got the mental capacity to lead followers and all this other stuff, and you couldn't look into the case and see what I saw? All right, same reason why y'all don't tell me nothing. I can ask Farrakhan a million questions if I want to. Only careful that the NOI could ever tell me to be is making sure I don't miss somebody gunning for me. That's the only careful you could ever told me to be. Because I seen what happens when people step up and challenge people before. I ain't doing nothing. I saw what happened to Malcolm X. You ain't never scared nobody. You understand? The truth is the truth, though, and I'll die on that hill and live on it, too. The NOI, all y'all, listen, Golden Child, the rest of y'all, I know y'all see me. Let me tell you something. If y'all think this is a competition, go ahead and disassociate yourselves now. Unfollow me. Okay? Golden Child, Brother Ben, the rest of y'all, anybody that's watching. Okay, anyone who hears this, whatever, if y'all think I'm in competition with you, the reason why you don't think, you think because I'm asking question of Farrakhan that we got some beef or something, like, go ahead and disassociate. You're not powerful enough, okay, to stop what's happening with Nuwapu. It can't be stopped. All right, I'm seeing everybody do that. Every religion got a rapper, don't it? Every religion got rappers popping up and popping their shit for their religion. Hey, salute to y'all. Y'all going to continue to act like Dr. Malachi York isn't sitting in prison? And no NOI member can say anything to me because your leader, okay, your commander, your chief, your Messiah said Dr. Malachi York was in prison on trumped up charges, which means each and every one of y'all, if you listen and tune in to what your own leader, commander in chief, all right, or your own Messiah says, then you would know that his charges were trumped up. They lied on him. Okay, tell the truth. Jacob York didn't snitch on Dr. Malachi. Jacob York lied on him. Tell the truth. All these people didn't come out. Y'all don't want to know the truth. Anybody still saying he's guilty? Let me tell you something. The plea guilty thing, that's been drugged through the mud a million times. You're going to have to still answer me this question, how you plead guilty and get 135 years. Because you didn't even look into the case. You would have realized that after Dr. Malachi York was briefed about the guilty plea because they tortured him into taking it, he literally says that he never read it. He didn't understand anything about it. These were his words. He said he never got to look at it. They tortured him into it. They said his family would be tortured. They did all this stuff and then had him sign it. You didn't see him limping up to the stand. None of that. You just looked at that one video. Said, I would never. He said he was guilty. He admitted it. First of all, a guilty plea does not mean you did it. No, nor does a conviction. I don't know why people all of a sudden you believe in the justice system because it's Dr. Malachi York. What? When did pleading guilty mean I did this? No, that same guilty plea was withdrawn. But nobody says that. Guilty plea gets you less time. He withdrew that plea. If that guilty plea still stuck, then it should have been a 20-year thing, shouldn't it have been? He withdrew that plea. So all y'all jumping out to me, I would never do that. You never were in his shoes. You ain't nobody for the government to try to take down. You understand? Y'all haven't been fair. I don't give a damn about none of these people. They were not fair. Y'all can tell 19 Keys, keep up the facade, 19 Keys. Your flesh perishes, nigga. Keep up the facade. Keep up this whole pro-black shit. You're a faker, a kafir. Keep it up, though. All of y'all. Young Pharaoh, you can get as many young, Egyptian tattoos you want on your face. Keep up the facade. I'm watching y'all whole community try to act like you're Dr. Malachi. You don't have a lick of work to show for it that can even match to one of his. Keep up the facade. Keep getting upset with me because I'm saying the name. And I don't give a damn about no Black Magic 363, whatever the fuck. I don't give no damn. I knew when you came to me that you wasn't doing nothing but scouting. You fed me that story to myself. I didn't know who you were to Bedell. Imagine that. Nigga, you're like an A&R of the conscious community, and it took for Bedell to go live with me for you to know who I was. You knew who I was. You saw me on Young Elder. You knew who I was before then. The whole conscious community, y'all niggas are full of shit. All y'all full of shit. All y'all. I didn't care about going on your show. I let a nigga lie. I let a nigga, oh yeah, I want to have you on the show. Da, 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 da. I was already put on guard about the fact that you don't fuck with Pops. You don't fuck with Dr. York. That's y'all problem. How all y'all niggas mad at one nigga y'all never met? You never met him. What light did he bring to this world that have all y'all niggas in this conscious community yelling crucify him, steady using his shit though? Steady trying to call yourselves Egyptian names and shit. I'm a 10 and Pharaoh Akhenaten. Nigga, your name is Marshall. You're Marshall. If you were supposed to be Pharaoh Akhenaten, you might have been born that. But Marshall ain't nowhere near. You missed the mark. I want to debate about this. Debate about the fact that you motherfuckers is liars. You don't care nothing about the conscious community. Same reason why y'all niggas is on recording to myself. I don't give a damn about these conscious community bitches. I don't fuck with these bitches. Da, da, da. You devils are liars. You don't care. You understand? That conscious community is full of sex workers and people who are buying them, taking y'all money and running and buying people to have sex with. That's from all of them. Line them up. That conscious community is full of people who say, you know what? If I just talk this way and act this way, I can make some money and disappear. All the while, the one who gave you the walk, the one who gave you the talk, y'all left him. I never wanted to be a part of none of y'all. What the fuck is a BWO? What are you talking about? I told people when I was at Faise, you're going to be BWO. Why would I do something like that? Why would I do something? I don't need no name attached to what the fuck I'm doing. If we're going to be ascending, we're going to be ascending. If you want to call it that, say we be ascending and shit. Call it that. We don't have to put no incorporation on this. We don't have to label it or none of that. Let's get the work done. And y'all going to have to make up your mind. Which world are you in? The material money world? Or are you in the saving souls world? Well, if you're in the saving souls world, then you ain't got no time to be spending over there with a facade and pro-black this and bullshit. You know that's bullshit. Y'all niggas know it's bullshit. You know what I mean? I guess 19 Keys got tired of subbing. He got tired of subbing me. He was like, you know what? The subs ain't working. Let me just block them. That ain't finna work neither, nigga. I'm gonna keep saying your name. And I want you to feel me. Because when all the cameras go off, you know you lied. You know you defrauded the conscious community. The same reason why they run it around blind. You did it. Rashad Jamal did it. Everybody did. I watched all of y'all do it for years. Ain't nobody innocent. Brother Blue Pill, Red Pill, how y'all know this stuff and y'all not pushing for Dr. Melly? How y'all gonna do a gathering of the masters and not highlight the master teacher? Fuck is wrong with y'all? And no disrespect to be there because he invited me. I told him I don't trust none of them motherfuckers. I ain't going. I ain't had no problem with be there. He could have said, let's grab lunch. Could have said anything. Don't invite me around them devils. Because how you know the truth for this long and y'all niggas is gathering this shit, selling t-shirts, and somebody is suffering. And you think it's like this now, he better come out. He better come out. Because that's the only thing that done kept me in line. Him. He better come out. Y'all think this shit a game. I been out here another motherfucker talk about no Inky and Lil, no none of that. Don't bring me no nigga, no light-skinned, squinky-eyed picture, no nigga talking about that's Inky and Lil. Boy, y'all finna have to worry about me. Dr. Melakazi York needs our help is what this is about. He needs our help. That's what this is about. Y'all not loud enough about it. How? How all these people had to find out who he is through me. And I'm the youngest nigga out here. How you had to find out? When he got locked up, I was 3 years old. Y'all niggas was in y'all 20s. That whole conscious community, y'all better stop believing these motherfuckers. They full of shit. If you could let that much truth, I just said, literally, I was talking to Mrs. Faise. I said, that's a lot of person to abandon. That's a lot of person. You hear his voice now, and he keeping up with us young niggas. He laughing and smiling and spreading love and da-da-da-da and keeping it up here. That's a lot of person to just leave sitting there. You're not going to tell me that I will have to respect Farrakhan if Farrakhan can't help his brother. That's supposed to be your brother, Farrakhan. I'm not one of these little people. We didn't come here to belittle. You might be cleric and all this stuff to them. To me, you blood and flesh. And I'm wondering if there is a spiritual essence to you that you have somehow incarnated into this plane as an Ilamu Tajassida, or as an avatar, or as a God among us. How could you not help one of ours with all your power? And y'all NOI running around here spreading y'all lips, showing y'all teeth just like a man I was told about before. Smiling and carrying on. Economics this and we this and the people this. You motherfuckers left him in there. You left him in there. And now you got all these people running around. Look at all these pictures. You got Farrakhan, you got the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and you got Fuad Muhammad. Don't none of their pictures look like us. That's why. That's why. Same thing Pop was saying. Say, damn, maybe if I was light-skinned. Remember when Tabby J called me light-skinned? If I was light-skinned, they would have put me up there with beyond 19 keys by now. Still dealing with that complex, or the 1712 dilemma. We see all these pictures going around. Saviors this day. Where is Dr. Melchizedek York's picture? That is disrespectful. He had y'all pictures up. I was there. We were told to put y'all pictures up. You walk into our homes, y'all pictures up. Where his picture? Y'all ain't, the NOI don't exist to me if y'all gonna ignore him. Then I'll ignore you. I don't owe none of y'all niggas no respect if you can ignore him. If there's any movement on the planet that can help him, it's the NOI right now. And y'all won't even speak about it. So then, no, I don't respect you then. Somebody got to make it make sense to me. You understand? So we move between the tick and the top. And we watching. And we paying attention. Pop said, this is my last lifeline. And y'all on here kicking it. You got people like Prince York, who's supposed to be working on this case. Every time I log into the Telegram app, you arguing with some women. Or calling somebody a fat this and that. Yo, bro, you supposed to be focused on bringing your pops home. The hell is you doing? Every time the sister's trying to speak, this nigga jump off and get the bashing. Every time they open up the room again, they got to shut it down every time because of you. And you focus, you that busy working on Pops and helping him out. But you got time, do he know? He know you got time to kick it and chill and sit around and bicker and backer and gossip and fight and slander niggas and shit. That's all you been doing. How you doing that? Hey, listen, you can't tell me that I got a court date for Pops in September and I ain't doing everything but making sure my I's is dotted, my T's is crossed. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Prince York said Dr. Melchizedek York don't want his name clear. Anybody who just heard the recent release of Dr. Melchizedek York speaking, he said the direct opposite. And I knew that before that release because he said the direct opposite to me. I heard his voice. His actual voice. Not no spiritual spookoo shit. I say, damn, why Prince telling people he don't care about none of this except Williams and Williams? When I done heard this man literally, the post-conviction is not his first choice. He literally said that. So for y'all to be lying to people is one thing. It's okay. Take up the money. Even though he said the money was already there. I heard him say that. But go ahead. Keep taking up money. Every week is another $1,000. Every time people ask to be updated, you just put a little legal update that somebody done typed in. Like, we can't read spelling errors. And then it's another $1,000. Another $1,000. Somebody sent $950. Okay, we good, y'all. $50 more. Okay, good. All right, the next, another $1,000. Still? And you got a date? You're already in court. And you get on the phone and you tell everybody in capital letters, Dr. Malachi York don't care about nothing but William. You lied to those people. You lied to the Nuwabians and Sabians. And you want to know what? I was operating and moving in that different light, saying, you know what? I'm going to watch. And I watched you lie over and over and over and over again. And then his voice come out. And he said, what's up with all the secrecy? He don't want to deal with the post-conviction shit because they going to take him. He got to file a tort, do all this other shit. They going to take him through hell to get his stuff back. They mad. They try to jump in. The brother Ibrahim moved in, grabbed a lawyer called Adrian Patrick, who been on the case 20 years ago, came back now. They jump on. I was on the call. I can let y'all hear it. We tired of the games. Fuck all that secrecy shit. Somebody, hey, like I told you, next step, we getting a lawyer. And we coming through the door. Right? He get on there, Prince York got on there and said, you stepping over bounds. You only supposed to be working on this, da-da-da-da, in front of everybody. Trying to tear down what they had going on. You don't know what Pop told them. He could have told you some shit, told them something totally different. You jumped on in front of everybody. Just running your mouth. Same way you say he don't care about his name being clear. Pop don't care about none of that. He said in 4K audio, that's one of his main concerns. His name being clear, his family name being clear, his legacy being clear, his children being taken care of. You lied. He does not want to come home through a post-conviction. He does not want to. If he comes home that way, he'll come home that way. He don't want that. He's a fighter. He wants his stuff back. He wants everything that was taken from him given back to him. That's what he wants. Y'all steady trying to drag him up under the U.S. and won't listen to what he's saying. I don't have no problem with people doing what they're doing what they think they got to do. The issue is, damn, everybody defrauded. Everybody. Y'all playing with him. You gonna play in his face like he's stupid. Like he don't know and see everything y'all doing. Everybody, as soon as somebody get a lawyer, you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to try to infiltrate and find out what the fuck the motherfucker's saying. That's what they all doing. Somebody get a lawyer over here, somebody talk over here, they jumping on each other's throat trying to figure out what information being passed around. Why are y'all snaking each other instead of working together? Something is wrong. Something wrong. I spoke out. I said, damn, Pop, everybody that's working on your case been there from the beginning. Everybody that's working on your case been there from the beginning. And anytime a new face show up, they run them away. Do y'all think y'all running me away? You think you running the child who was watching y'all move his whole life, paying attention to everything? You think you running me away? I ain't going no motherfucking where. They ran away. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Everybody who was new, trying to work on the case, they shut them down. This is called infiltration. They got federal agents operating as clan leaders and this person over here. And I'm like, I'm watching this shit. I say, damn, when they made this person a clan, I know there's only one clan leader I knew of. Only one clan mother I knew of when this person popped in as one. Same reason why Pop say certain things, which he said don't say. I'm with Pop. Stop with all this secrecy shit. Let the truth be known. It's the reason why Pop don't tell certain people certain shit. Because he know you already working with them. And it's a lot of y'all that got in trouble with the feds, and the feds approached you, said, nigga, you going down for 40 years, and if you don't work against your peoples, we taking you down. So then I can hear in between the lines. I can hear even when the call was going on, when one of the brothers said, try to sabotage it. I'm like, damn, he's saying that's one of the ones who sabotage. Everybody else ain't listening. He said, try to sabotage it. I don't give a damn what me and Ibrahim had going on. If he trying to help Pops, I'm with him. I don't care. When it comes to helping the man, I'm with anybody. But why would he say that? Try to sabotage it. Because y'all y'all try to sabotage people who try to step in and help. That's the reason why people try to act like they got a personal problem with me. They're afraid. Because I step in, I know shit. I step in, you think I'm there trying to talk to you and debate with you. I'm in there watching you and recording you and paying attention to your movements and your mannerisms. Say, you are a problem. How you going to be a problem when you helping Pops? Something wrong. Some things wrong. But they know who I am. They know I'm the one. And I'm watching all y'all. I'm paying attention. Shit. I called my folks, say, hey, look, I'm about to get a lawyer. What you think? They said, go ahead. I don't see why not. They played with him, y'all. Don't send me nothing from none of these people. No black magic. The only people that I fuck with that would have even been associated with that conscious community is Young Elder and B. Dale. That's it. One more time. It's only two names. Young Elder, B. Dale. Only ones I fuck with. Out that whole fucking lineup. Because they all stood by and watched and did nothing. I don't get no damn. Every time I show up to Tassili event, I hear Brother Blue Bell. One of they Wizard of our events, they did something with the Trailblazers. I watched Brother Blue Pill, Red Pill. Y'all went through the lineup of all the Trailblazers and all these master teachers and all this other stuff. And I watched y'all. Like I could look at your brain. You see me standing there. You looking dead at me. You can't not see me. Every time I walk into y'all community, y'all see me. I'm looking at y'all say, somebody gonna say it. I'm looking at these people. You did not mention him. Then people say, yo, where Pop's at? Oh, I'm not finished. I'm working on that. You working on that. Y'all playing games. Y'all playing games. The conscious movement don't work without Pops. Let's get that clear. Without the most honorable Dr. Malachi Zoduk York L. The conscious shit don't work, y'all. We're not the ones. Dr. Malachi York is the reason why we think we are the ones. But without him, wouldn't none of us be able to pop none of the shit we popping. So I'm the loudest one. I done lost my voice. Y'all see why I'm drinking this honey? I done lost my voice a bunch of times. I feel the shit now. Don't give a damn. Guess it'll be another 7 days of me not speaking. Why? Because how loud do I have to be? How many times I gotta lose my voice? Screaming about some shit. That's like me trying to teach people that there is something called the sun. Can you imagine that being your life? Your whole life you gotta teach people that there is something called the sun. and they walk out every day and they see that shit, they know it's there. They feel it. They feel the effects of it. They grow their plants with it, their vegetation. And you have to keep reminding people that there's something called the sun. I'm screaming my voice out, saying, okay, look, I'm not saying I'm the only one that can help Dr. Malachi York. I'm just trying to figure out why I'm the only one that's pushing this heavy. Out of all these people y'all keep naming, out of all these people y'all keep putting up there, why? Regardless of what you feel about what he taught, regardless of, for him to suffer how he's... So, hold on, y'all. So, somebody reported me and said I was targeting a group and saying hateful things about a group. So, they clipped the live and said, we can't have this. They got the message from and everything. He said I said some hateful things about a group. Y'all know who did that. Y'all know who did that. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I think the key thing is already expressed, right? The key thing is expressed. Dr. Malachi York is in need of our help. More people need to know what's going on. If you know, like reporters, if you know journalists, if you are a journalist, if you plugged into people with these big platforms and stuff like that, now is the time where you get in touch with them. And if you don't know what to say, send them to me. You understand? Same reason why I was like, yo, young elder or myself or both of us or somebody need to go on that 85 South show and set the record straight. Yeah, that's probably why my live messing up now. Can y'all hear me? It still got me live?